Hey guys, I'd like to start off this review with my apologies to Roberto Firmino for our guys failing you, having a great performance, and they, boring game. I'm just ranting already, guys. We're wasting all this effort, passing the ball around, nobody attacking. First half was garbage. Firmino did play well, but yeah, as you can see, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory when you watch the games right now. We're not sharp out there. We got up 2-0, and I thought, okay, wow, like, not too bad. We don't really deserve it. But Sunderland, they're not a good team at all. They were just really bad. And then, of course, they come back and tie it up right after the walkout. So, pretty disappointed. I mean, our offense is just not, it's like non-existent out there. Really disappointed. I'll go into maybe some rankings. I don't even want to rank the guys again today. Like games like this, like everybody across the board gets like a 4 or 5. It's just bad. Mignolet wasn't that good in net when he had to be. The second goal is harder to save. He should have had the free kick, Not happy about that. Just no ranking, I think a lot of guys, I'm just not going to rank them today. So I'm just watching a highlight there. Nice header by Firmino. But, Firmino played great. And he worked hard to get that. That was a great cross by Milner. I'm just watching it right now. Good header. And he worked really hard to get that goal to Lallana. Prior to him running the ball in, he had challenged to get it. And that's what I was saying to my dad. Nobody's running at these guys. Firmino is the exception to the stagnant rule, the stagnant offense rule. You know what? Like, there's been times I've been critical of Firmino. My dad and myself have been on him at times. But he's a great talent. He needs to be with a better cast. I think he's done his part since he's come here. He could put that ball in the net. Like, he's a great player, and he's a great playmaker too. Sorry, I'm just watching the highlights again, guys. I'll try not to do that. It's hard when it's on in the background. But very disappointed. Lovren went out early. Again, the injuries, like Lovren went out early. Allen went out. I don't know. I didn't think Klein was having a good game. Not going to mark him. Sacco was okay. Even for our guys that were doing okay, like he had 1 minus, 2 positives. Like I had no markings for our guys. And I don't mark anything anyways, but today there was just... our guys were giving me nothing. I was just sitting there watching the game like, okay, this is what it is today. You could just feel it. And then we pull away 2-0. Aside from Firmino and maybe Milner was having a pretty good game for effort. Lallana was okay again. Lallana's usually good. Him and Milner, they're at least going to give you effort. They're at least going to run. So they weren't bad. So I'll give them something later on. But, yeah, Sacco, I don't want to give him a really bad mark, but I have nothing to really mark him by. So I'm going to give him, honestly, like, this is more because of how the whole team played. It might not seem fair. I'm just going to give him a 6. But that's like a better mark. Like 6 is like a great mark compared to some other guys today. And as a team, we just did not look good. So I'll give Sacco a 6. I don't really have much to go by. Moreno, I'll give maybe like, 4 or 5. He was, he'll get open on the wing sometimes, but he's really bad with his timing, especially when it comes to tackles. And he's very reckless. And he gets caught by the official. Like, if you're going to go and challenge a guy and do it rough, you've got to be smart on how you do it. And he's just not. He's just too volatile when it comes to that stuff. So, low mark for Moreno, and he got that yellow. Give him a 4.5 for today. No mark for Joe Allen. Torre was all right, and then he kind of just fell apart. And I got 3 minuses, 4 positives. I don't know. I'll give Torre. I think Sacco was our best defender today. Torre was okay at times, but then he kind of fell apart. So maybe give Torre like a 5.5 or something like that. Low markings today, and unfortunately the low ones are, for the most part, are going to be the good ones, aside from Milner, Lallana, and Firmino. Maybe Chan as well. Henderson, no good. No good today, Henderson. Very bad. You know what the problem with Henderson is? He's always trying to do these crosses, and he always wants to go for the $1 million cross. The perfect cross, and he screws it up so many times, or nobody's there. Like, it just, my dad and I, we just yell at him all the time when he does that. Big minuses against him for that, and for other things too. All in all, not a good game. He had some opportunities he totally blew. Even one where he passed to Lallana on his left for a poorer angle. Okay, he could have just cracked that ball in, man. Like, I like the whole pass the ball team share thing, but it's like we're afraid to score. It's like we're afraid to attack, and even in like 300 and something passes in the first half, we were at like 380 or something, 350, and they had 80. And I thought to myself, this is ridiculous. Like, we're passing. There was one part, that's what I wrote in my notes, and Henderson was with these guys. We were in our own half, right at center half, pretty much. And there were 4 guys there. I think Chan, Henderson, and maybe a defender. And I'm not sure who else it was. But there were 4 guys not far apart. If you were to do a square, each corner would maybe be 20 feet. Or like 15 yards apart, I don't know. Somewhere around there. Not that far. Maybe even less. And no one was on him. And they literally passed the ball like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm like, you guys suck. Like, just, if you have the ball, run forward, Like, now I'm getting mad. Like, I'm starting to rant. It's not going to be a reaction video today. It's a draw. Honestly, like, even with the goals, I celebrated with like a good, fist pump for Firmino, but just was not exciting at all. I felt those being up 2-0 was almost undeserved. Firmino deserved it totally. Us as a team, no. But Sunderland was so bad that it was like enough time will go on where eventually you'll score. I mean, Sunderland was just horrible. And then they came back and tied it up. That's how bad we were today. It's ridiculous, guys. So, yeah, Henderson, I'm going to have to give Henderson a 4. I got, 2 positives, 3 minuses. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll give him a 4. Sorry, Henderson. That's what you get. Learn to kick the ball better. Chan was okay. Everybody was like, even if they were okay, they were still not good, because the whole essence of the team, the whole feel of the game was boring. It was worse than some of the Rodgers games I had seen, earlier this season and last season. It was bad, Chan was all right. 4 positives, 1 minus. I'll give him, I feel like I can't even give him a 7. I'll give him 6.5. Yeah. Like, not many people deserve anything high today. Ibe, when he was subbed on, actually, okay, here's the thing. Like, I was very critical of Ibe with not passing the ball. And the thing is if you can beat guys or try to do it and do it more than you beat them, or create something more often than lose the ball or make the offense stagnant, all the more power to you, right? So with Ibe, I don't mind if he plays a little greedy. And I know that's contrary to what I was saying before, because it's in a sense, there's an asterisk with it. And especially when we're playing that bad, I thought, oh, you know what? At least I will try something. And he did. He didn't have a great game, of course. I had a couple of shots on net, or one or two. Wasn't even a really great shot. Had some power on it, though. Gave him 2 big positives, 2 minuses. So a 5, for Ibe. But I at least will comment and say that I like that when our team is that stagnant and that garbage offensively, then, be as greedy as you want, because it really doesn't matter, But typically you want to have a good balance between passing the ball and taking chances. The thing is, again, we're too readable. Like, we're not a hard team to defend. Just stand there and watch us pass. That's all you got to do. The occasional cross will come in, head it out. And our offense stinks, guys. It's really atrocious. So hopefully there'll be some changes. But I really don't know. How do you teach instinct? Like, you should just know. There's so many times we had the ball and you could just run 20 yards, run 10 yards, like strike some fear into your opponent. And there's still plenty of time to get rid of the ball afterwards. Instead, we pass it back. And I understand, like, you do have to pass it back sometimes. You have to play the odds. But when, I'm telling you guys, like, we're not even facing their goal. Like, I bet you with those passes, well over half of those, we were probably, like, turned the other way at our goal. Just saying. It's not the way to win a football match. It's almost like we're playing. Imagine if we were, hopefully this never happens, but imagine if we're in a relegation zone and we're playing just to get a point. Like Sunderland, to get 1 point is such a big deal for them. Okay? Like, that's how we're playing right now. We're just garbage. We're just holding the ball, like, almost as if we're hoping for a tie. But it's worse. Rather than at least strategically doing that, we're just, for lack of a better word, instinctually doing that. That's our default settings. And it's got to change. It's very hard on the fans to watch this kind of football. It's different if you had a game plan. And, yeah, you got 2-0 up, and it did technically work by 60 minutes in, 70 minutes, whenever it was 2-0. But this is against Sunderland, okay? Like, come on. I was saying to my dad, if we were playing West Ham, it would have been like 5-0. It was just atrocious watching the game. So, anyway, I'm ranting. So did Chan there. Milner was good. Milner and Lallana were both pretty good. Milner with minus, 5 positives. 1 was an assist. Great cross to Firmino. I'm going to give Milner maybe like he was pretty good. I mean, I'll give Milner like an 8. Lallana, I'll give, he had the goal, which, to be quite honest, it was Firmino who did all the work for it. 1 minus, 3 positives, 4 positives total. Lallana gets, and the goal, I mean, he kind of gets like a 6.5. I'll give him a 7. He got a goal. But these are even, I don't know. I'm not sure about these markings, to be quite honest with you guys. It was a really bad game from what I was seeing. Firmino is the exception to the rule. Played great. Too bad he doesn't have a better cast around him. And it's just funny how we can, there'll be a game where my dad and I would just trash Firmino. But if you look at what he's done and what he's had to work with, he's what's the word I'm looking for? He's produced. He's brought the goods. This guy can put the ball in the net. I'm very happy with Firmino. Okay, I just am heartbroken that we don't have more guys supporting him and more. The injuries are really hurting us. It's like a whole bunch of things combining to make it extra difficult on the team. But that's good because the adversity will show weakness, and we can learn, we can change, we can buy new players, we can develop talent we already have. I think Klopp's really gonna have to get busy this off season, and next year will be his big, ranking season, his big rating season. We'll really see what he brings to the table next season. But I like what I see so far, aside from a few criticisms. overall, I think he's done really well with what he's had to work with. So, and he was in hospital as well too today. It's crazy. Of course, my dad made a hamstring joke about that. So Firmino, great game, goal, assist. Really worked hard for that assist. Took some good shots on net too, even though they were over the bar. At least he was trying. At least he was going for it. He wasn't being selfish. It was really like, okay, guys, no one's really. This is what you're gonna get. Okay, fine, I'll kick the ball. Like, he's a very good player. He's a very selfless player. He'll pass the ball, and he'll put it in too. So I'm really impressed with Firmino. It's not like he had a sensational, spectacular game, but compared to the rest of our guys, Firmino was on fire compared to them. But he played well, and he did really well. So I've got 7 positives, 1 minus. I gave Milner an 8, maybe Firmino an 8.5, maybe a 9, but in a much more epic game. I don't know, that's why I like to bust the scales too, because then you can just keep going and make it easier and make it more of a wow factor. But yeah, like maybe a 9 for Firmino today. 8.5, 9. I'll give him a 9. He's the man of the match. He tried. We let him down. My apologies, Firmino. He get a 9. I'm sorry you had to bear that bird. You just see him walking off the field, and he was just shaking his head like, I'm doing all this stuff, and you've blown it again. And I think this happened to. The Norwich game. He had 2 goals, and I'm ranting now. And you all know what happened in that game. We still won. So that's it for my rankings. It's a long review. Sorry, guys, I went on a bit of a rant there. I wanted this to be a short video. Much too long for what I was going to do. My notes I already covered. Nobody's running with the ball. Way to go, guys. That's it. I was very hard on our guys, saying we have too many athletes, not enough football players in my last review. I kind of felt bad about that statement. What does it look like having that thumbnail up there on Liverpool's... not that many people see it yet, but even on a Twitter or Liverpool thing, or if a player had seen that might hurt people a lot. But, I want to be honest. And I felt bad. I thought, oh man, maybe I should take that back. I did leave room in that statement for, I don't know which player, could develop. I could be wrong on some players. So it was a rantish statement with some truth in it, I think. And I thought, okay, today we'll see how we go at them. I was expecting, usually what happens is I'll say something, and whenever my dad criticized the team, a lot of the times that person or the team itself will come back and go on fire. And it usually, because they realize that, they know too when they have a bad game usually. And I expected our guys to come out and stomp. I didn't even expect a high-scoring game, but I wanted to see more of an effort. Like, we have some effort there, but we don't have a mental effort. Like, we're just not... we need guys with football minds, especially on offense. Our defense, is suspect at times, can be in shambles at times for sure. But it's really our midfielders and our forwards. And, then again, our forwards are like, Milner is pretty good in the midfield, and Lalana is good at times on forward in his spot. Firmino's good, but... I don't know. Something's not right when we bring the ball up there in attack mode. We're bringing it up to not attack. And it's driving me crazy, So anyways, guys, that's it for the vid. I'm done. I don't even know what games we got next. I'm not even looking at anything, but I'm sure there's one. I think my dad's saying there's a cup game on Tuesday. So that's it for the review. Guys, thank you for watching. And, yeah, see what happens next time, all right? Take care.